What's going on, people? Sony, I need you to understand this. I see the tweets on Twitter. I see the reactions from people on Twitter because I follow quite a few things on Twitter. I'm a little bit more active on Twitter than anything. Um, Data miners are looking into the Switch. They want to see if they can't find Super Nintendo, GameCube, Nintendo 64 titles, in which apparently they found a few. Nintendo, your online service this far has been kind of rank, kind of sad, um, due to the fact that you're not really giving people a hell of a lot. I mean, you're giving us little $7 ROMs each month. We're able to keep as long as we have the service, which does add up over time. Unfortunately, your fan base is way higher than just the average fanboy who's super satisfied with Mario 1 and 3 and Zelda 2, Link's Adventure. Your fan base is much bigger than that. So when your fan base tells you, hey, we want Super Nintendo, we want Nintendo 64, we want GameCube games, you kind of need to listen. And there's a lot of stuff from the GameCube that actually has held up quite well. And a lot of stuff from the GameCube hasn't been seen on a Nintendo system since. I mean, I personally never played Mario Sunshine. I thought that was kind of lame. I didn't like the title. It really just turned me away from it because Nintendo 64 had the greatest Mario game of all time, in my opinion. With Mario 64, it was a great, solid way to see Mario come into the 3D dimension. And, you know, it to me was just the greatest one of all time. It defined like that era in my life. I really spent a lot of time playing it. I'd go to my cousin's house and play it. We would play Mario Kart on the N64. We both had a Nintendo 64, so we were both fans of Nintendo 64. And I agree with this. I agree wholeheartedly with the fact you do need to offer more than just regular Nintendo games if you're not going to offer the games from Nintendo, the original Nintendo, that were like the mainstream sellers, the ones people know by heart, the ones that everybody can identify with. And you're not doing that. So I kind of got to agree with people here, okay? Now, moving on from that, Sony, I need you to listen to me. I swear to God, I'm not going to touch on this unless it just goes down like 15 bucks. The PlayStation Classic or the PlayStation Mini, however you call it, is possibly the most frustrating and most disappointing thing to come out of Sony ever. And that's saying a lot. People are dying for Nintendo to make a Nintendo 64 Mini. Not because they want to see the ROMs or because they want the games. It's because of how bad, how poorly, how disrespectful Sony was in coming into the Mini market. Imagine if Sony never released the sack of shit known as the PlayStation Classic. Would anybody honestly care? If we were just left with the original NES and the Super NES mini consoles, those little plug and plays, would anyone really honestly care? Of course they would, but it wouldn't be such an outcry. Sony, you fucked this so bad. From beginning to end, so bad. That you have seen a 40% price drop. And it should go higher than that because people are still saying it's too much money. And in reality, it really is. Because I have a thumb drive that I can plug into it right now and hack it open if I really wanted to, but I can't justify $60. I just can't, I can't do it. Okay? I just spent 50 bucks this past week, this past Friday on, Tales of Vesperia, the definitive edition, on the Switch. I love that game, and it has pretty much engulfed my life. Because, honestly, I love that game on the 360. I love the fact that it was actually an exclusive to the 360, but now it's on everything, so I bought it on the Switch, and I am enjoying the game. I'm actually playing through it way more than I did on the 360 because I just love it. It looks great. I'm kind of curious to see if they have a 4K output on that game for like the Xbox One X or the PlayStation 4 Pro. However, because I have it on Switch and because Switch is the main console I play on, guess what? I'm not going to buy the damn thing or anything else. Feel me? Now, moving on from that, and I know it seems like I'm kind of going through a lot here, but there's a lot. Okay. With online gaming being as big as it is now, with games like Black Ops just annihilating a story mode and making you basically play Fortnite with Call of Duty graphics, and with games like Fortnite being as big as they are, and with online gaming being as big as it is, I have a question for you developers. Why the hell is nobody working on a Phantasy Star Online Dreamcast remaster, or just porting the damn thing to everything? Online is stable-ish at this point. It's not the same as back then. We wouldn't have to worry about dial-up. I feel like Phantasy Star should have made a comeback by now. If not the ones on Dreamcast, then the ones that were on the Xbox or the ones that were on GameCube seriously need to make a comeback. Okay? This seems like it's the pristine best time to reintroduce Phantasy Star Online with the online playability of it. I mean, come on, Final Fantasy 11 and Final Fantasy 14 are both MMORPGs that are online only. I know they closed down the servers to 11, but 14 is still kicking. The fact these things are making money, the fact you have World of Warcraft consistently going, the fact that these are things, why is Phantasy Star Online not part of this generation? Where is that game? That game could definitely help this generation and online play in a major way. I know it has a fan base, so that being said, that was something that came into my fucking thought process as I woke up today. I was like, wow, why isn't that a thing? Like, I don't know why that didn't come back. That being said, okay, I heard Bungie split from Activision. If you didn't see that coming after the very first Destiny, I can't help you. Yes, I'm talking about this Destiny right here. This, the Taken King. Yes, after that happened, I was like, dude, they're gonna split. After threats of taking over half their fucking stock and employee rate and everything, if they didn't come out with Destiny 2 on time, how could you not get that? How could you not get Bungie's like, dude, we're not gonna take this shit. We made Halo. We defined an entire generation. Activision, when's the last time you defined a generation? I don't think you can even say you have. You have great content, yes. You have bad content as well, yes. But I've never heard of an Activision game actually defining a generation. Bungie has done that. Halo, even though it's being made by 343 now, is Bungie's child. Bungie created Halo. Halo defined the original Xbox. It changed the genre of first-person shooters. Activision, what have you done other than cause a whole bunch of bullshit and wreckage for us to go through and try to find out what the fuck we want to do with your bullshit? So Bungie splitting from Activision shouldn't surprise you. You feel me? Alright? It for damn sure doesn't, surprise me. And in all honesty, it wouldn't surprise me even more if Activision stock just completely plummeted to them closing their doors because of everything pre-split. So, that being said, I know I went over a whole bunch of shit here, but the data miners finding codes for N64 and GameCube and Super Nintendo for Switch Online, that is a big deal. For the Switch to not be acknowledging that they need to have a better online presence through the free games from month to month is a problem. To Phantasy Star Online needs to make a comeback now that online is a factor in gaming and is a big factor in gaming. That is something that needs to be discussed. And again, Activision and Bungie splitting is also something that needs to be discussed. If I can find any of the links for any of this information, I know the Phantasy Star thing isn't going to be one because I just thought of that. That was just something I thought of. I even tweeted it out. Somebody said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So if I can find it, I will link it in the description down below. But if not, this is just me rambling about random shit that I've heard of recently. And I will talk to you guys next time.